Alright, it's another wonderful day in the Red River Gorge. Hiking. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to be because I've seen as low as 6.1, but I've seen as high as just about 8.5 miles. So we'll find out as we go today. But this is supposed to be an amazing trail for somebody that loves geology. Lots of cool rock formations. We've already passed a couple little caves. It's pretty cool. So we're starting on the Auxier Ridge Trail. Then we'll take the take another Auxier Trail over to the Double Arch Trail to make one big loop. So along the way, we'll be able to take little detours off to see Courthouse and Double Arch. So it's going to be a fun hike. The temperature is dramatically cooler on the trail. The sun is pretty intense today. So it feels really good being under the cover of the trees. So it's pretty hike so far. Fairly narrow trail is always nice, but obviously very well traveled. Love seeing all the trees growing out of basically the rocks when there's just a little bit, enough to hold it on. Like that one, that tree's hanging off the edge and that rock is holding it on. Very cool. Well, this is a really good demonstration of why this trail has the word ridge in it. We are definitely on the very narrow ridge where it drops off right there and right on the other side. Pretty cool. So the mountain laurel's starting to go through its cycle of flowering. Still see some spots that are very bright, pretty pinks, but many have passed their prime. This trail definitely has a lot of up and down, which the majority of this area does, which makes sense since it's a gorge. But I will say this trip has not disappointed. I've wanted to come here for quite some time, so I'm glad we made it here. It's been pretty amazing to see everything. Pretty cool to look out across the gorge there. Something I've been working on is removing, omitting, and getting rid of but statements and replacing them with something positive. It'd be like a right now. So I have found things to be very frustrating as I'm not able to do the same things that I once was able to do. And so that leads to me feeling like inadequate or insufficient, not myself, not good enough. So they're recognizing there's seasons for everything, but more than that, focusing on the specifics of what I can do now. And so instead of like I can't, or I used to be able to go out to eat at a restaurant, but now I can't. Not thinking about it that way and thinking it was, well, I can do a picnic right now. Let's go for a picnic. And that's fun to me anyway. So it changes the perspective, and it takes that negativity out of my thought pattern and out of what I'm thinking about myself. We also, like, I used to be able to drive for all day and all night, and had no issues, and I don't do that now. My body doesn't allow that, and so I've struggled with that because it's changed my options for things. So it makes me feel like, it was making me feel like I was missing out on things that I wanted to do. And so instead, focusing on, I can go on local adventures. I can create new opportunities. Much different way of thinking about it. Definitely some pretty views out there. See some more through the trees kind of over there. Blocks of rock just jetting up from the ground. What a beautiful overlook. Got birds flying, soaring high. Definitely a straight cliff down. Huh. This is a really freeing walk. It feels like you're out on top of the world. It's pretty cool. You can see far out to either side, and just a trail where we're going in front of us. Oh, that's an arch over there. Definitely an arch. That's really cool. It's hard to see in the camera, but that's really neat. Kind of is a triangle shape. It seems bigger at the top than at the bottom. This is cool. That's all we have to walk on. It's really neat out here. The breeze feels so good. Definitely busting a sweat today. You can kind of see it a little, the arch here, a little bit better here. I'm guessing it's double arch, so we should get a good view of it as we continue. It's cool to look back and see the cliff that we walked along. Alright, made our way to Courthouse. We have lots of stairs to go down. See where it takes us. So we're taking the little offshoot up to Courthouse Rock. That's a big rock in front of us. Wow. That's quite a drop off. Very cool. I should have looked up to see how high it was. I love spotting all the little wildflowers. Adorable. White and purple. Really stands out among all the green. Definitely feels jungle-like, being surrounded by green and hearing all the bugs. We've seen lots of lizards. They're kind of chunky looking, but not real long or anything. Pretty cute. Little iridescent shininess going on with them. Oh, there's a yellow wildflower. So fun. So we did go through a little bit of a treacherous section of trail. It was fine, you just had to be careful. Watch your step, and I used my poles going down all the rocks and boulders. Having hands to support might be helpful too, but definitely doable. But I had read that a lot of people don't really do this as a loop trail for that reason. They don't want to do all those stairs, or they don't want to do the treacherous climbing. But adds to the adventure. So we have Caden out in front of us leading us on our trail today. He likes having an important job of leading us all where we're going. So I've been working with him a lot as well with removing the but statements and just getting rid of the negativity. And I'm sure most people with teenagers can relate to the negativity that often accompanies all of their words and attitudes. But you might even be able to remember that of your own experiences. But it's been helpful to him, with how his brain works and everything. He does have a tendency to get caught up in something and be obsessive, and so it's great if he wants to do something, or not so great if he decides he doesn't want to do something. So helping him focus on the positive. So he definitely voiced his opinion that he wanted to be climbing today, and we had decided we were going to hike, and he accepted it very well and is having a blast with it. And so he's recognizing if he follows a positive perspective on something, then everything's just better. You're going to have more fun with it. And that's true for the people around you as well. We really enjoy hanging out with him when he's himself and going with the flow like he normally does, and embracing all the adventure there is. But when he lets things get in his way, it makes it harder for us to enjoy the time as well. So it's been a really good focus for us. Maintain perspective and healthy mindset. So we are on the little leg off the main trail to go up to Double Arch now. We did find one little stream, creek crossing, so we did our little snack break there down in the lowest part. So we had kept going down after we got to Courthouse, and since that our snack break, we have been going up. So Making our way out to Double Arch. So this portion will be an out and back, just like the little part we had for Courthouse. This one's just a little longer. Lots of signs of backpacking out in this area. So I'm hoping to get out here and do some of that sometime. They have good signs to help you know where you're going, what trails there are out there. And there are spots that they don't want you camping, like out on certain ridges or near points. But they have signs for them. And then there are little fire rings set up at some of the spots that you can tell people frequently camp at. There was definitely a good campsite set up over by the water, which makes sense. There's not a lot of water. There's not an abundance of streams flowing through. So it is something that you'd want to do some planning with to make sure you have enough water for wherever you are. But very cool trail. We've seen people every once in a while out hiking, but definitely not crowded. The parking lot is pretty small for the amount of trail options here, so it makes for it to be very difficult for it to get too crowded. So that's cool. You get to enjoy the peacefulness of the nature out here. Alright, that looks like an arch up through there. Hard to see right now. We'll see what we end up seeing as we go. But cool rock either way. So this hike is not an easy one, so depending on your perspective, your attitude about things. Like with Caden today, we could have easily had a miserable 14-year-old making the hike not so fun for any of us. And could have been complaining about how hard some of the uphills are or how long the hike is. But with the efforts to focus on the positive and not let that negative sit there, we're all loving the hike, definitely seeing the challenges worth the effort. So definitely beautiful to put in the work to see something awesome like that. Alright, we found it. Very cool. Really neat. It's cool, it's different like shelves basically forming the arch. Awesome.
Casey, you see where that big bulb was?
Yeah.
You lay down?
Yep.
Caden walked over there a little bit and said he could see the courthouse.
Oh, okay. I thought that we were seeing Double Arch. We were. We have owls talking to us now. Okay. Oh, pretty. Yeah, so we were across the gorge on the other side, looking out over here. There's Courthouse over in the distance. We went up to that. How fun. Whew. And then we were down below when I showed the arch through the trees. You really couldn't see it, but awesome. Oh, that rock looks so cool. Love all the color. Oh, definitely worth the climb. So, awesome trek out here today. I will admit, I did fall on the way up. It was a pretty good one too. Got some blood going, but thankfully okay. So when you're out hiking, watch your step. Even hiking can be a little dangerous sometimes. So, awesome trail though to check out. That's some tall rock up there. Looks like just a bunch of layers stacked on each other. Pretty cool. They definitely have a sign that says stay on trail. I'm guessing people try to go over there and play. It's really interesting to feel such temperature changes as we're continuing on this hike. We've had some of everything. Bright sun, clouds, breeze, rain. It's quite the adventure. And we've gotten to that point where Caden's a little tired. So we had a chance to practice replacing our thoughts. Instead of I'm tired, he was able to come with I'm excited to get back to the car. So that was good practice. So we're making our way back. So hope you have lots of positive thoughts today. Share those with others. It's so encouraging. It makes it so fun to be around people that are like that. Even though it can be hard sometimes to stay in that mindset. So I'll see you next time on the trail with Heart.